If you just answered yes, you know how much of a headache it could be.
Yeah, and experts say there are things you can do to protect yourself and your wallet if you accidentally park your car in the wrong spot. Sunrise reporter Roland Rodriguez joins us now live. And Roland, what do we need to do to keep from getting hooked?
Good morning, guys, and good morning, South Texas. It is a sight no driver wants to see. His or her car getting hooked up and towed away. But most drivers don't do anything about it, or at least they don't know what can be done to protect their cars and their pocketbooks.
If you believe you've been harmed or wronged in any way, go ahead and make payment for such tow. And upon the completion of payment, then you have every right to make a complaint to an agency such as the Texas Department of License and Regulatory Commission. Go downtown to the courthouse, and you can talk to the county attorney's office. You can go to the police station, talk to the chief of police. There's different avenues available to you depending upon what the situation is.
Motorists can help put an end to wrongful towing, but knowing the law is key. For example, what can you do if your car is already hooked up?
If your car has been completely loaded, then the city ordinance calls for a drop fee, and that fee is set at $50 by city ordinance. They must receive your payment at $50, and they must drop your vehicle. Now, if your car has not been completely loaded and it's in the process of being loaded, or he's just showing up when you arrive, they must leave you alone, and they cannot ask you for any form of payment whatsoever. If they do, they are wrong.
If your car ends up in a tow lot, keep in mind the law is clear that the tower must receive cash or some type of electronic payment, such as a credit card, debit card, or a bank card.
Every tower is required in the state of Texas to receive one of those two options as form of payment, and it is both have to be available to you, not one or the other. They must receive both. So if you have a bank card and you want to pay by bank card and you have the money in your account and they tell you they can't receive it, they are wrong. They are setting you up for failure.
Now, if your vehicle gets towed from your apartment complex, make sure you read your lease carefully.
They should tell you in theory of transparency and professionalism, it should be clearly divulged and explained to you, but that doesn't necessarily always happen. So if you have questions, you should ask those questions and try to get those answers in some form of writing.
And keep in mind, if your car does get towed, the tower must report it to the police department within the first 2 hours. That would make it so much easier to track down. Now let's head back to the studio and check in with Mac and our morning weather. Mac.
Thank you, Roland.